Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning, the first day of June. Boy, this year's getting away, is it not? Well, I tell you, we've had a few little technical difficulties this morning with our stream, but I think we seem to be have it worked out. So if you are trying to get in and we're having a little trouble, we apologize for that. But join us now. Let us know you're out there, so I know it shows we're live, but I want to make sure. So somebody pop in there and let me know we've got viewers this morning. I'd appreciate that. And again, welcome back to the conversation. We've got a great topic to talk about this morning. It's one that's near and dear to my heart. There's Huck. Good morning. So we know we're live at least, and I appreciate that. And Karen, good to see you. And Kristen, good seeing you. Yes, beautiful Sarasota. Robin, here comes everybody. Jessica, Rebecca, top of the day. So good to see you. All right. Well, then we know we are rocking and rolling. There came Jim on for a second to say good morning. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Lisa, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Bill. All right. That encourages my heart. This is awesome. Thanks for being here. We've got a lot to do today, and it's going to be great. Dave, good seeing you. Good morning. All right, let's go then. So a couple of reminders, a little housekeeping. Hi, Rachel. How you doing? Where are we from? Sunny Sarasota as well. Jill, good morning to you. This is awesome. What a great group of leaders. So glad to have you all joining us this morning and care about this topic. It's such an important one. Um, a couple of things. I'm hoping one of our regulars comes on this morning because we need to sing her happy birthday, but I hadn't seen her yet. Um, welcome to you. Again, reminder, we've got to get our videos in for the Capstone project. We've got a great program lined up here. We're going to be working hard on that over the next couple of months. So we can't wait. Hey, Baretta, how you doing? And we can't wait to see all the videos and get everybody aligned to that conference. It's going to be a great time there in Point Vedra. So get those in. The deadline's Friday. I will give you a heads up. We're going to take next week. We've got 4 more sessions. Can you believe it? Hey, Lori, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining last week. We got 4 more sessions over the next 6 to 8 weeks, and so we're going to take next Wednesday off for vacation. For you, it's not vacation for me, but give everybody a break. We're going to work on our Capstone project during that time frame, and we're going to review some of these videos. So please get your videos in if you can before our deadline Friday, and certainly before next Wednesday. We would certainly really appreciate that, and we're so excited to see them. So next week you got the week off, but then we'll be back the following week with another great topic I'll tell you about at the end. But let's jump into today. Time goes by quick. Today, we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, the significance of the servant leader. And I think this is a topic that all leadership enthusiasts enjoy talking about. It's kind of the pinnacle of leadership. The term servant leader, it sounds a little bit like an oxymoron or a contradiction, of weakness versus strength or weakness and strength. Well, let me start out by saying this. I thought about this topic, and this is the way I've tried to think about leadership for 30 years. So, humility, and we're going to get into a lot of this as we go, but just to kick us off, humility is an important part of this leadership trait, right? It really gets down to the essence of what we talked about in another meeting: inspire what you desire. You should never in a leadership role ultimately have to leverage your authority, because we've talked about it. Leaders are all throughout the organization at all different levels. Some have titles and authority, some don't. Those leaders are driven by their ability to influence. Good morning, Robin. So remember, in this context, this is not about authority. It's not about being weak. Humility is actually the ultimate sign of strength. It's the realization through all of your experience and the confidence that you've developed in yourself and the willingness to shine a light on others and reflect their good works back onto them, that you ultimately become a leader that everyone wants to follow. This is a question of want, not have to, right? It is the ultimate test of your ability to inspire, right? It's the ultimate sign of strength when you get right down to it. And it's not an issue of lack of expectation or demand or accountability. In fact, what I found is people that are humble in their approach or serve in their approach, they're willing to do the work as well, not just expect the work of others. People feel that and they want to perform at the highest level possible. So it actually is the way to instill the greatest expectation on our teams. All right. So there is nothing weak or meek about servant leadership. In fact, I'll tell you, the two terms, servant and leader, combine to form the single most well-balanced, highly effective level of leadership one can acquire. Just what we were talking about. Servant leaders, those who have reached the higher purpose of people first, right? They represent the pinnacle of skilled leadership, in my opinion. This has been written a lot about. It gets to that level 5 leadership. You've all heard about it, right? Jim Collins wrote a lot about this back in the 80s and 90s. It became very popular. I'm sure all of you have read the book, Good to Great. You know, and it was around this context of why some companies make the leap and others don't, right? And when he did this, he was talking about how the 5 levels of leadership. If you don't remember those, I would encourage you to go back and kind of refresh on those, because it is a great way to think about your development to ultimately achieve these great leadership attributes. And it's key, it's the ultimate key to lifting companies from good to great, was the context of what he was working around. Collins found that level 5 leaders share a paradox combination of extreme personal humility, what we were just talking about, and intense personal will. Think about it. When you combine humility with a strong will, those are great attributes, right? Humility, he concludes, is a key ingredient to reaching this level 5 pinnacle of leadership. His simple formula, his humility plus will equals level 5. So level 5 leaders are a study in duality, is how he referred to it. Duality. Modest and willful, shy and fearless. Pretty strong combinations. These are the combinations in my mind that make you approachable, right? We talk about this a lot. Leaders need to be approachable. You know, people don't, care what you know. Do they know how much you care? Those kind of things, to where you can get into truly deep and honest conversations that will really get to the essence of the things you as individuals and collectively as a group need to work on as a company. So this is where I kind of land on this. So when you think about servant leader, level 5 leader, however you want to refer to it, they share humility as a core personal characteristic, along with an almost complete lack of ego. Now, everybody has to have a little ego to have confidence and security in oneself and all that. But how we define ego, what does ego do to people and its performance? We define it as edging good out, right? Because it ousts the spirit of serving others and replaces it with the selfishness of serving yourself, oneself. So ego behaves on behalf of me, not on we. I love that. Ego behaves on behalf of me, not on we, and that is no way to lead for sure. The goal of many leaders is to get people to think more highly of the leader, right? The goal of many leaders to get people, followers, to think more highly of the leader. The goal of a great leader is to help people to think more highly of themselves. I think that is Carla Nutcraft put that's her quote, but I got to tell you, that to me sums it up. Great leaders help people to think more highly of themselves, and that's the ultimate in performance. All right, another great quote I love. Earn your success based on service to others, not at the expense of others. And that was H. Jackson Brown Jr. True leadership must be the benefit of others, not to enrich the leader. Our friend John Maxwell. This is just building the context of everything we're trying to say. Some of the best writers and leadership, people in leadership, have put this into great context in those quotes, I think. Both servant leadership, level 5 leadership styles demonstrate humility, right? Unwavering will, ferocious resolve. Do you have ferocious resolve? And the tenacity and tendency to give credit to others while assigning blame to oneself. Both are humble, mature, willful, purposeful, and ultimately serve others and are servants. While humility has been frequently confused with passivity and submissiveness and even insecurity, it's really the opposite. Humble leaders are actually competent, confident, and comfortable enough in themselves to self actualize by helping others. What does that mean? They can recognize their gain, their strength actually comes from helping others. It is the source of their strength. And they, hey, John, and they feel that they can shine a light on others, take the blame to themselves, and not be threatened. They can do all this without feeling threatened. And in today's times, particularly in some of our businesses, performance is important. Everybody's looking at us to really deliver on the revenue or deliver on the top line at a continual transformational business. It is very easy, and let's not discount it, to want to make sure that we're demonstrating through our hard work the things we're doing. And in reality, we have to. It's part of human nature to want to take care of ourselves first. It's our responsibility to our families and everything else. What this really ultimately gets to is the ability to do that while shining a light, while giving a credit to those that do the work, and knowing at the end of the day you'll be rewarded for the work you do. If serving is below you, leadership is beyond you. I like that one. Yes, that is coming. While humility, where we get it? So through their service and dedication, they earn the respect and the right to hold those they lead to a very high standard. That's what I was trying to get at the very beginning. A true servant leader demands a lot without being demanding. Think about that. A true servant leader demands a lot without being demanding. People want to perform for them. They model selflessness. They model a giving spirit. They have ready reconciliation around where the issues are, and they take that responsibility. They're compassionate in their correction, and they commit to others in the pursuit of common cause and shared purpose. Think about that. They do all that with one goal in mind: common cause and a shared purpose. Good leaders must first become good servants. Robert Greenleaf, the founder of Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership, that was his mantra for his organization. Good leaders must first become good servants. Jim George, an author, said, serving others prepares you to lead others. Serving others prepares you to lead others. Servant leaders exemplify the idea that your success is my success. Your success is my success by demonstrating the principle that what you give is what you gain. They create a culture where people at all levels of the organization, they feel appreciated, and ultimately, very important, they feel respected. These cultures tend to have higher employee engagement. How important is employee engagement, right? We talk about it a lot. They have higher morale and often have higher levels of innovation. Why? Because you can't be creative, you can't be innovative in a tense culture. The culture we're talking about is culture that frees you up to have expression, to seek. Remember, we talked about the ability to challenge the process, to seek having a voice at the table and want to have that voice. That would breed innovation, would it not? When those you lead feel supported and valued, both professionally and personally, they are ultimately more efficient and more productive. That's clear in the data, and it's clear in all of your minds, I know, that lead other people. When these environments are created, those cultures are created, you know that people get to the essence of the issue more. There's less politics, and you can focus on your priorities better. It's really kind of simple when you get right down to it. When you give to others, they give back to you. Very kind of basic, the moral of life, right? Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Servant leaders grow people to grow prosperous, right? Grow people to grow prosperous. As John Greenleaf wrote, we talked about him already, I'll lift you and you'll lift me and we'll both ascend together. I think that's awesome. Servant leadership is all about making the goals clear and then rolling your sleeves up and doing whatever it takes to help people win. In that situation, they don't work for you, you work for them. And that's a well-known Ken Blanchard quote. So 10 common characteristics of the servant leader, or that level 5 leader we're talking about. Lead by example. Now this is my top 10 list. Lead by example, right? With empathy and humility. Model an unselfish mindset. model an unselfish mindset. My wife and I, as we were putting this together, we debated these. She helps me think deep about these things, and I think a lot of this you can do all these 10. It gets back to the 5 leadership values we talked about early in the session. Invest in people, giving time, training, and support. Invest in people. Acknowledge the contributions of others. That's that shine a light on others through recognition and reward. Empower others with tools and support. Give them the tools they need. You would never send a carpenter out on a job not with a well-stocked tool chest, right? Give them the tools and support. Involve and mentor others in day-to-day decision making. Give them the latitude. This is one of the, we've talked about this before. This is one of the keys in my mind. Give people the latitude to make decisions and then develop their judgment. Don't, if you take authority, if you take responsibility for people, you take it from people, remember. So give them the responsibility, let them have the latitude to make decisions, and then coach and counsel on their judgment. It will change your organization, right? Inspire individuals to grow and innovate. Inspire individuals to grow and innovate. Encouragement, it's important, we talk about it, but not only encouragement, but encourage engagement. Encourage collaboration, encourage diversity of thought, encourage it. Care for people personally. Get to know them personally. It goes back to what we've said 1,000 times. They don't care what you know or what you need or what you want until they know how much you care. So care for people personally and foster leadership in others. So give back through your experience, your confidence, your humility. Give them the courage to be approachable, transparent, vulnerable, even to a degree. We talked about vulnerability on one other session, but it will really foster the leadership competencies and skills in others. So these leaders aren't born with these attributes. Always remember that. They are formed by their life experiences. None of us stepped into a leadership role in our early parts of our career and understood any of this, right? We've learned as we've gone. We've seen what worked. We've seen what didn't. We've understood when we've made mistakes. We understood when we got too far out over our skis. And we've learned a lot through this process. And we know that if we can harness this, it will deliver great results for you personally and for your teams. So Gandhi said this, every new experience brings its own maturity and a greater clarity of vision. I think that's an awesome quote. Oscar Wilde said, experience is the hardest kind of teacher. It gives you the test first and the lesson afterward. You got to love that, man. Experience is the hardest kind of teacher. It gives you the test first and the lesson afterwards. The best lessons you'll ever learn come from the worst experiences of your life. As leaders, we learn like everyone else through the trials and troubles and tribulations of our life experiences. We come to know this. We come to know what works, ways to motivate people, how to inspire change, and more importantly, who matters. We learn leadership is not just about facing challenges, finding solutions, or thinking strategically, or even navigating that ever always occurring change or delivering results. That's not it at all. It's about what we do. It's about who we encourage. Remember that it's not all about what we do. It's not all about what we do. It's about who we encourage. So all those things we talked about learning. It's not all about what we do. It's about who we encourage. Over time and through experience, we grow as leaders at a higher level of thinking and a greater level of maturity. And that is the servant leader. When you put people first and serve them well, they not only trust you, they will enthusiastically follow you. This is the essence of leadership. This is the essence of servant leadership, leading with a caring heart. And here we go, Kristen, my close, you were way ahead of me and I'm impressed. If serving is below you, then leadership is beyond you. I love it. Roy Vanderen said that. Leadership is about who you are going to help. Leadership isn't about what you do for yourself. Leadership is about who you're going to help. It is not about what you do for yourself. Leadership is about who you are taking with you. And that's kind of my thought for the day. Leadership is about who you're taking with you. My quote to note today came from Martin Luther King. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. I think that's awesome. And if you believe in what we talked about for the last 20 minutes, you can be great for sure. The takeaway today: to have significance, serve. I hope you enjoy this topic. Remember, get your videos in. I can't wait to see you at the Capstone. I so appreciate your time coming here. We are taking next week off. Remember that, to work on our videos and do other things. I've got a board meeting, frankly, and I just can't miss. And we set in 3 or 4 vacation weeks. We haven't used any of them, so we've got 6 to 8 weeks left to get through the next 4 sessions. We're going to have some really strong wrap-up sessions. John Cantrell, you won the book today. Jim will let you pick the one you want, because we've really appreciated your leadership at Florida Press Association and all that you're doing there. Our next topic on June 15th, I think you're really going to enjoy: leading with meaning and a surplus of purpose. Leading with meaning and a surplus of purpose. Again, thank you for being here today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and lead on.